Yo, what's up? You're tuning in to the 50 States podcast where I travel across the country interviewing everyone and anyone, talk about everything and anything. And today I am with a very special guest.
Big Joe.
Big Joe. All right, Big Joe, how did we meet?
Oh, man. We came on your movie set.
Yeah, that shit was scary though, first time I saw that.
With Big J. Jay brought us there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
For you.
Yeah.
For me, like I was over here focused directing with Noel G.
Yeah.
And you walked in on set and you and your wife walked in on set and I was like, who are these people? Because you guys look very important and I'm not used to having people walk into my set like that.
Right.
What was your mindset when you walked into set? Like, what were you looking for? What was the goal that day?
I forgot why we were there, actually. I don't remember.
Okay. God damn, okay. You don't remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, but it was cool. Like when you showed up, and then your son Jacob, which is Jacob the Bull, he was showing everyone on set how the magic trick.
Oh yeah, the thing.
Did you already know about that, or
no?
Do you know the secret behind it, or you still think it's real?
No, this was the second time that we did it. I think we did it on somebody else before that. Yeah, yeah. And then we did it on him. That was funny because his reaction. We still have it on tape. That was funny.
Yeah,
he was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
that was funny. Yeah.
And what about you? Like, where do you come from? Where's home to you?
Harlem, New York City.
Harlem, New York City.
Yeah.
How was that growing up?
Yeah, things are tough there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What happens there?
Yeah, a lot of crimes.
Oh, remember, whatever you don't want to say, you can just say next.
Yeah, a lot of crimes. No, I didn't do anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I was the good person out of the bad people, But there's bad people everywhere. But yeah, that was tough. A lot of things happen, and I've seen a lot of things as a kid. But it keeps you strong, man. So yeah. That's why I got the New York hat on.
Yeah. Were you ever planning on getting out of there, or that's where you were gonna, stay for life?
No, I figured that out. Like when I was 20, I was like 27 to 28. I knew it was time to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything before that, that was my life. That was where I was. Never even went to New Jersey, but like one time, and it's 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. So yeah.
And we're always getting in fights and shit.
Yeah, Jersey doesn't like us. We don't like them. So, yeah.
Oh, with Jersey.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
And then after New York, where did you head to?
New Jersey.
Okay.
New Jersey.
And what were you doing in New Jersey?
I met my wife. Was from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was. Then I brought her to New York.
Yeah. And then Jacob was born. When Jacob was born, where did jiu-jitsu come from? Like, why did you fall in love with jiu-jitsu to begin with?
I didn't. I just knew that Jacob was good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I just kept him on course, kind of, because I asked him after the first class, I call him Papi, right? So I said, Papi, what you thought about the class, about jiu-jitsu? I know nothing about jiu-jitsu. So
yeah,
he looked at me and smiled with a cheese smile and said, I like it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, so we'll come back tomorrow. And tomorrow is 17 and a half years.
Mm-hmm. Goddamn, yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I figured, if I looked at it like this, if he's good at this something, then I found that thing he was good at.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'll just stay doing this as long as he doesn't complain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that was that. And
your marketing strategy, the way you promoted him, everything. Like, obviously, when Jacob first joined the sport, you didn't know what to do, or did you already have an idea how you were gonna attack it? Did you have a plan?
You mean like when he was introduced to us for the first time?
Yeah, once you saw that he's doing good in jiu-jitsu, did you already have a plan how you're gonna promote him, market him, and all that stuff?
No, zero. All I know is that he was gonna do it. He was gonna get good at it, and it was something that he could use to defend himself.
Yeah.
So I didn't know it was even a thing because when you think sport, you think of boxing, basketball, football, and stuff like that, right? So you don't think of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And where I come from, I don't think anybody did BJJ.
Yeah.
So to us, it was a whole new thing. So I looked at it like, well, I don't know what this is, but he likes it. It's fun. We met some great people. His instructors are super friendly, super down to earth, ego free. So I was like, hey, man, let's go. let's do it. You know, so.
But did you already have like marketing skills before?
No.
So we're like, that's what I'm asking. Like, where did that come from? Like, because you got him really high on social media.
Yeah. So that's the thing, man. I had no idea. I said, I didn't know it was a thing that somebody can get popular off of. Like a boxer can get popular off of boxing because, you know, all the boxers are known, right? Like you can get known in boxing quickly as far as what I think, because we don't box, right? But I just said, so I said, well, I'll just market him as a badass jiu-jitsu kid fighter, you know? So then when Instagram was introduced, that's where it all started. So I put him on Instagram in 2013. I think it came out in 2010, if I'm right. So then then we just posting pictures on Instagram. Well, I want everybody to see what my son does.
And how did you learn like the algorithms, the views, and
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't, man.
Because you've done such an amazing job with him.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I didn't understand how any of it works.
Yeah.
I just said, well, this is what everybody else is doing. Yeah. So I kind of just followed in the latest trend, I guess.
Yeah.
He was figuring it out. He was figuring it out as you go.
Yeah, I was figuring it out as I go, I guess, you know. So, and then you know, from there, everybody starts giving him attention. So I was like, okay, well, we might have something here. So then it just grew and it developed. I think it just did it by itself, and I just went with the flow, really.
And you were like very straightforward to every company, every academy, every gym. Like, hey, this is what we want.
Oh, if I need a sponsorship for him, I would just make contact and I would say it just the way it was. Yeah. You know. If I was feeling that, whatever, I just said it.
So people that want to like, you know, message these companies for sponsorship or anything, they always want to do it super professional by the book. You say just say it, you know.
I just make contact, or I get, you know, if I can call the office, I call and I tell them, you know.
Also, sometimes you would take it to corporate.
Yeah, I would just call and tell them what I was feeling, or have them invite me into the office and we'll sit down and have a conversation.
That's badass.
You know. Yeah. Because you have to give the people the opportunity to say yes or no while they look at you. So you won't wait for emails or return text messages. No, man. We can sit down right here and talk, and I can explain it to you, and you can say, oh, hell yeah, I want to work with Jacob. And if you don't, then you can send me to the door right there.
Yeah. You know? And throughout this whole journey, did you ever meet any parents that maybe told you like, hey, don't you think you're being too hard on your son? Or
I have an answer for that too. Yeah. So you got to remember this. When you hard on your kids to wake up early in the morning, go to school for 8 hours a day, you're forcing them to do that. Yeah. Right? You force them to brush their teeth. You tell your kids that they have to take a bath. So you tell your kids to go train. It's the same thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So and then you have those people that say, oh, you're trying to live through your son. I never wanted to do jiu-jitsu. Okay. I never wanted to box. Right. I wanted to go into the military, but I didn't tell Jacob to go to the U.S. Army or the Marines or the Navy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear that, right? So if you could force them to do everything else, why not force them to go into sports? Why not force them to stay healthy? Why not force them to eat healthy food? Right. You see what I mean? So if you could tell them to do everything else, then you could tell them to do that. And
then, what's wrong with or what's your opinion when they say you want your kid to live through your life, right? That's what you said.
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong with that? You know, like what if?
I said that too. I said, well, even if that was true,
if that was true,
where was that wrong? If I was a black belt in jiu-jitsu and I wanted Jacob to follow in my footsteps, why not? Now, I could tell you, I know many jiu-jitsu instructors that all of their kids train. Okay, so what about that then? Right? I never questioned that. Well, if the dad does jiu-jitsu and he's a black belt and he's a world champion, why not have your kid do the same thing?
And you see it in every industry. You see it like anyone who was military, you see their children go to military and they have a successful life. Jiu-jitsu, they were fighters and their kids become fighters. Actors, then their kids become great, successful actors.
Let's talk about Floyd Mayweather. His dad was a champion boxer. Look at Floyd.
LeBron, now his son's playing basketball on the same team as him.
Look at that.
So, what's wrong with that, you know?
Right.
When people say that, yeah.
Right. So, I can prove that Jacob is not living through me because I'm not a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Right. My son is. Yeah. So, he's not living through me. He's living through my encouragement and the wisdom that I shared with him. Yeah. And how I was able to have him in the sport for 17 and a half years. Yeah. We was able to do this together. Yeah. You see?
And I understand that from all these 18 years, you know, did you go through scary life risking obstacles with Jacob and throughout this whole journey?
And like for his safety and his health,
Yeah.
if he ever had issues,
Yeah.
oh yeah, one heart surgery, MRSA infection, like skin infection, and that was real bad. He spoke about that in another podcast, by the way. But it put him out for 6 months. That was the only time he took off.
Yeah.
He never said, "Oh, I want a year off of jiu-jitsu," or "I don't want to train for 30 days." No, Jacob never said that.
Yeah.
If we had a problem with him getting up to train, we spoke about it. Maybe he took a day or two off, right? A Monday or Tuesday, but then he was training Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah.
So Jacob never made excuses, and when he did, he worked through those excuses.
Yeah.
He worked through all those adversities that he had. Right? Forgot this damn word. So he never said, "Oh, this is too difficult." And if he did, he said it's hard, but I'm halfway there. I might as well just continue to keep going.
Yeah. So we know what Jacob's mental process was, what he was going through, what he was thinking, what he was feeling. What were you thinking and feeling throughout the whole process, the whole journey? What was going on through your mind?
I didn't know if he was going to actually make it to where we are today. Because when you see the behavior starting to change between 13 and 16 years old, right? You start to wonder, well, he's going to want girlfriends. He's going to want to be with his friends, training and competing and traveling all over the United States.
A lot of distractions.
Yeah. So So anything could come in the way of that, God forbid he fell in love with somebody and now she's requesting all this time and energy from him. And now it takes away from his training, right? And his focus, right? Because you see it every day and it happens all the time. But Jacob didn't allow that to happen. But he also took all my advice. It wasn't that I wanted him secluded and just live in a jiu-jitsu lifestyle, because Jacob still had fun. He still has friends. He still goes outside. He still plays this game system that we have right here that I'm sitting next to. So, it's not like he doesn't have a life. He went to school for a little bit, and then he was homeschooled for long periods of time. But he graduated high school successfully. So I didn't strip him from anything.
Let's talk about homeschool. I don't know. I don't understand it, so I don't agree with it. But because I'm not familiar with it, I always believe it's best for the kid to go to public school and learn bullying and learn problems and breakups and relationships and friendships and betrayal. Like, it shapes the person. But what's your opinion on that? Why do you differ from public school to homeschool? And maybe you could teach me something, because I don't know anything about the homeschool world.
Well, the thing is that I think that because he was homeschooled, he kept on course.
Okay.
I believe that if he spent all his years in the regular public school system, I believe for sure that he would have got distracted to the point that it would disrupted his journey in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, got you.
For sure. I believe that. I also believe what you just said, that he needs those lessons needed to be learned. And, he didn't have a lot of those lessons learned. But he still made friends in the world of jiu-jitsu at his former academy where he used to train. So he still had contact with kids his age. And he still made friends. And he was able to still go out with them, so be out in public. So it wasn't like he was boxed in a cage then, and he didn't explore bits of life, because he did. But he lost the typical high school experience. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've been doing this for 18 years for Jacob, and like everything you were doing with him, you were learning as you were going. Like, what if it got to the point one day, Jacob, and I know obviously it didn't happen because he has his black belt. I'm saying if he would have said, "Hey, Dad, I don't want to do this no more," like, how would have you reacted to that? How would have you handled that situation? Or maybe even guide him back in?
Yeah, and see that. Yeah, that's the thing. I would have been really upset and almost like heartbroken, because I would have.
I'm pretty sure his audience would have even been heartbroken.
Yeah, well, because
or fan base.
Yes, but for him to not understand how much I believe in him.
Yeah, the power of the love of a father. Yeah, yeah. The love of a father, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
and so that's where I can see that did cross your mind so many times because it touched your heart right now. So that's why you got him to the end zone, to the black belt. I can see where the passion comes from. Yeah. I love that. So we know that was never going to happen just based on that reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think about it. It's like, because you can't imagine that he doesn't realize how much you believe in him. Mm-hmm. That you believe in that he could finish. He could complete the whole thing. Yeah. But there was times where it got difficult a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so the first thing I actually do, I feel it, and then I run to my wife.
Exactly. And how has your wife, helped you throughout this whole journey?
You know what? She's a better communicator with Jacob than myself. Okay. I just think that we're like the yin and yang, right? Mm-hmm. She's super strong where I'm super weak, right? So we both, and it's not just Jacob. That's the thing. Like he has siblings, mm-hmm. So we dividing ourselves in so many ways. But Jacob is the one that is actually doing this thing.
And you're dividing yourself in to multiple children and to different interests. So you guys have to support every different interest of every different child.
Yeah, and they're all different.
Yeah. So how did you manage to do that with your wife? I don't know. Like, what's the secret to that? Because how long have you been married to your wife?
Almost 30.
30 years, and that's rare in this time of age.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know. I just think that when we wake up, we just do it. Mm-hmm. We just do stuff. Just fucking do it. Yeah, we just do it. We don't wake up and say, "Oh, well, this is what we're gonna do. Let me get on the computer and look at a fucking schedule." Yeah. No, our schedule is a schedule of getting things done. That's the schedule. Mm-hmm. I think it's just the New York inside of us. Okay. It's the way you wake up and you hustle all day, every day. And I say hustle in a good way. Yeah. But you just get up and whatever you spoke about last night, this is what my day is going to be like tomorrow. Then you just get up and you do that day. You do it. Yeah, you just do that day. And then you love the kids the same way you did the day before. And then the day before and the day after, and it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. So we live in a cycle. Mm-hmm. We live in a cycle of loving our family, loving each other, and supporting that dream that's significant to you. That this kid is doing this. Let's just do it though. It's like Chelsea, right? Mm-hmm. So our daughter, she went to makeup school. We was, it was paid for, and she did the whole thing and completed it. Mm-hmm.
And then she even came on set and did a fantastic job for me for my production.
Exactly. So now her hard work is paying off because now she's on set. She's doing good makeup, mm-hmm. and it just works. Yeah. So now Jacob is a black belt. He'll eventually have his own business, mm-hmm. and he did that. And now the hard work is paying off. Mm-hmm. And once again, it works. So hard work pays off. It works. It works to do what needs to be done.
And people don't understand that to be successful, you have to go through sacrifices and through obstacles. It's not going to be an easy road. There's going to be a lot of bumpy road, potholes along the road.
Right. So think about this, right? Like Jacob had a whole entire 4-hour heart surgery, right? Mm-hmm. So that was enough for him that was a great excuse. If there was any time you could have made excuses right then and there. Yeah. Well, I have a bad heart. I don't know if I could continue on. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks later, he was back on the mat and he competed right after that. Right. 15 days later. Yeah. Fresh out of a heart surgery. And you know what? He was fine. He won gold. He did his thing.
That's crazy.
Today, yeah. Because Jacob, crazy. One thing I know about Jacob, he's brave and he's courageous and he's super strong. Mm-hmm. And even though Jacob had made excuses periodically, these excuses weren't life-changing excuses. Mm-hmm. When he didn't want to train, they didn't change his life. Yeah. You see? So when he met somebody that he felt the company was not good for him, he exit himself out of that friendship. Mm-hmm. When he thought a girl was no good for him, he exit himself out of that relationship. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't that I was telling him what to do.
Yeah, there's something about Jacob's personality that I really love is that he doesn't easily, give you the friendship, give you the attention. You kind of have to work for it in a way. Well, from the outside, because you guys are his family, but like for example, me, it took me a while for me and Jacob to get to the level where we're laughing together, joking together and stuff. So once you get to that level, you as a person feel like, damn, like it's cool that I got to get that from him. That's how I felt when I got that first laughter off of Jacob.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes.